Hi guys, Chris the Non-Pro Wine Guy, back this week to talk all about measurements. So it's gonna be a little different this week. We're only gonna use one camera and I'm gonna try to really get up close and personal in on these samples so that you could really see what I'm seeing here at home and understand how it is exactly I'm taking these measurements. So I'm not gonna be in the video a whole lot, but you are going to get to see my perspective a little bit on these samples. I'm gonna be taking a Brix reading or a specific gravity, and I'm gonna use a hydrometer and a refractometer for these to show you the difference between the two and how they work. So I went ahead and pulled a sample off of my Cab Sauv. I have some white juice that's sitting by. We're gonna do that here as well, but I wanna start off with the red because this is what I'm all about. And so I want to show you how exactly we're going to get into this. So the first thing I want to do is show you a hydrometer again. Now, the hydrometer is a 3-scale reading, and it will show you on here potential alcohol by volume. Right here we have our specific gravity, and then on this side is Brix. Now, Brix is the reading that I use. A lot of home winemakers choose to use our specific gravity. So this is how you use a hydrometer. You're going to take it, you're going to spin it to get all of our bubbles off, ensure that it is clean of anything that could be giving us a false reading. And then we're going to look at the bottom of the meniscus and see where it lines up and figure out what exactly our reading is. If I let this go, you can see that it is below 0 on our Brix reading. So that means that this is completely dry, and the alcohol has actually made it so that it is going to go a little further into the juice than our initial reading with sugar would have shown us. So a little side note on your hydrometer before we move on to refractometers, and that is that these things are incredibly breakable. Now, you probably want to have more than one on hand, but you also want to avoid breaking the ones that you have. Now, your best bet to do that is to wash them by themselves. We get in this habit of kind of putting everything we're gonna need to wash either in the sink or our wash bucket, and we wait until the end of our night and we clean it all up at once. But hydrometers are so fragile that I like to wash it off, put it up on my rack, and then move on to everything else. And it helps avoid breaking them altogether. The next thing we're going to talk about is our refractometer. Now this guy here is able to do most of what the other one was able to do. And you want to calibrate this using distilled water. And once you've done that, you're going to place a drop of wine or juice right there. You'll close this back and you'll get your reading. So this is how this works. So once you have a good drop that covers your plate here, you're closing it back and you're gonna go ahead and look inside. Now, when you look inside, you'll see that there is a line in between the blue and the white that shows exactly how much Brix you have inside of your sample. Now this one, the calibration has it a little bit low, so your calibration does have to be right. Mine was a bit off, but this shows that I am still at 0 Brix. So just like the hydrometer, this works before and after fermentation, but not during. And that's why we need a hydrometer for measuring sugar during fermentation. Now your refractometer is probably not going to come to you calibrated. In order to calibrate this thing, you're going to want to take deionized water, which has no suspended solids in it whatsoever, and put it on your lens, flip shut, use a screwdriver on your set screw right here, hold it up to your eye, and adjust for 0 exactly. Now, once you're done with this, you can put your wine on here, you can get a good accurate reading, but every single time you're done, you want to wash it off well and clean your lens with a soft microfiber cloth. This will prevent any scratches, which will cause a poor reading in the future. Now I showed you how to use the hydrometer and get Brix, and I do that pretty much every day of fermentation to make sure that I follow along with how it's doing and make sure my yeast are doing well. Now there are other old tricks that I didn't show you today. There's obviously watching your bubbler and making sure that you are aware that as it slows its bubble, your fermentation is slowing, and if it stops, your fermentation is stopped. So if you're not watching your hydrometer every day, like I encourage you to, at least know that when your bubbler is stopped, your fermentation is stopped. In a different week's video, I'm going to show you a vinometer and what it does, and I'm going to show you free SO2, TA, and pH. If you enjoyed this video, please give my Facebook a like, follow me on Instagram, and get some of the behind the scenes looks at what's coming up and what I'm doing when I'm not filming. And subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get updates every single time that there's a new video for you guys to watch, which happens to be every Wednesday. As always, leave your questions in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or you can shoot me a DM or a private message and I'll get back to you there too. Until next week, cheers.